This is Hyundai's answer to the hot hatch. It's the Elantra GT Sport, or if you're south of the border, Elantra GT Sport. Now, we've had the GT in the past, but for this year we get a big upgrade. They throw in a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, independent rear suspension, a whole whack of standard goodies, and now you've got a vehicle that competes with the granddaddy of the hot hatch, and that's the GTI from Volkswagen, maybe the hatchback Honda Civic, and a few others. But this car is true to Hyundai's claim to fame, which is offering a lot of value. When we get into the details of what's in this car for the price, it really is the leader in terms of value. Now, this is different from the Elantra sedan, which I drove last year in the sport configuration with the manual transmission. Absolutely loved it. Make sure to watch that review, because I thought when I drove that car, it was a GTI competitor. Now we have it in the hatchback configuration, and it might just be. It's only sold with the 5-door configuration, no 3-door in Canada. This is a European configured car, designed and engineered for European roads, sold there as the i30, and it comes to our North American shores with a different name. Now, on styling, it's not the most engaging looking car. Yes, it has a bit of presence on the road, LED headlamps and tail lamps, and you get the panoramic roof as well on all sport trims. So it comes very nicely equipped. As I mentioned, it's trying to be a little bit more dynamic. It isn't the most exciting looking car, but it is exciting every time you check your bank balance when you drive away with this car. Now, one of the advantages Hyundai has had over the years is the fact they bring cars to market that are very well equipped, and this car is a real standout. If you're shopping for a fun-to-drive hatchback, this one comes pretty much loaded with everything you want in it. That's when you get the sport trim. So let's run through what it has. It's got an 8-inch screen that's in the center of the dash. That looks to many, I'm sure, like a bit of an afterthought and not that well integrated into the dashboard. However, we are seeing this trend in the auto industry, and it's large and functional. Comes with Android Auto, standard Apple CarPlay, and if you want to get the top trim that I am, it has onboard navigation. But why do you need that when you have a connection on your phone? You also get standard leather seats that are heated. You get a standard heated leather steering wheel, which is very nice. And on this top trim, you actually add in ventilation. Another feature that I just love in modern cars today is wireless conductive charging, standard on this sport trim, and that's great if you have a phone that's enabled with that. Also, you'll notice on this car, it's got a standard panoramic roof. You also get dual automatic climate control and a vehicle that looks nice on the inside. It's got splashes of red around the steering wheel, the radio, the seats, and even the vents. So that's very sporty. The back seat is what you would expect in this class of car, and the cargo area is very useful as well. Hatchback flips up. That is a really deep cargo area, and underneath is a spare tire. No run flat for this car. Now, one thing that's hard to pick up on camera is the way that everything fits together. The switches on the steering wheel, the automatic climate control, the switches around the center console here are very nicely done, and this is one area that Hyundai and cousin company Kia are doing exceptionally well. All right, this car is available with a base model, not the sport trim, and that comes with a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine with 161 horsepower. That's pretty good output. However, I'm not a fan of the torsion beam rear suspension. This adds a lot. So you get a 1.6-liter turbo, 201 horsepower, 195 pound-feet of torque, and you get independent suspension added in the back, and it makes a marked difference. So now you're competing with a whole different class of cars in a hatchback configuration that people who like fun gravitate towards, and this car is fun. Now, is it at the same level as a GTI, which costs a lot more money? I don't think it's quite there yet, but it's certainly, considering the price, is worthy of your consideration. The steering feels a little bit lighter and not as direct, and the one thing that I think is the biggest difference is the dual clutch transmission isn't as crisp and fast as the DSG that you get in the Volkswagen system. Now, you can make things quicker by pushing the drive mode here, which goes from normal to eco to sport, but even in its sportiest setting, it's not nearly as quick as it is in the Volkswagen. So that's one thing to consider. Now, I did drive the Elantra Sport in the sedan with the manual transmission, and I thought that was a lot more fun. So if you want to consider this car and have more fun, get the manual and actually save some money at the same time. So this is a car that feels a combination of luxurious with all the amenities I mentioned and sporty. So if you're someone that wants a a nice, comfortable car to drive every day to work or to school, this one definitely does it, and it does it at a price that can get some people excited. I think the Elantra GT Sport in the base trim is the one to get if you can drive stick at $27,000. Comes with everything you need and then some. If you get the dual clutch, it goes up to $28,499. And the Ultimate, the one we have here, adds some advanced safety features, but it brings the price up to almost $31,000. Now, I did a little comparison. The first 5-door that would compete with this on size is almost $35,000. So this car is almost $10,000 cheaper. Civic hatchback, $25,500, not as powerful, and the SI is $28,000, but that's not available in the hatchback configuration. So this car is carving out a niche for itself. It's unique in its price, it offers a lot of standard equipment, it is fun to drive, and it's nice to see another hot hatch available.